Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if you guys have heard the news or not yet, but some pretty major news has broke over the last few days talking about year 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, kind of talking about what we can expect, what kind of new content we're going to be getting, and there's a pretty massive report that has come out that I want to talk about because I think this not only is something that confuses a lot of people in the Call of Duty community, but it's also news that's just pretty major in general. I mean, we're talking about a lot of new content. We're talking about what is essentially going to be a $70 expansion for Modern Warfare 2, and we're just going to kind of talk about in general, is this a good idea, if it's going to be worth it, and just kind of talk about what we can expect from this entire thing, because obviously we don't really know too much about it right now. We don't know what the full outcome of this is, what they're really looking to do with this entire thing, but I think that there's a pretty good opportunity with this. I feel like this could be really big for the Call of Duty franchise, and it could really kind of determine the future of Modern Warfare 2. As we all know at this point, I feel like Modern Warfare 2 is going to be the first Call of Duty game in well over a decade to have a multi-year life cycle. They're finally going away from the yearly Call of Duty title release. They're doing a new schedule where a new COD will come out every 2 years. So for instance, we got Modern Warfare 2 this year just a few weeks ago, and in 2024, Treyarch will lead the pack with their new Call of Duty game, and then in 2026, we'll be getting a new COD from Sledgehammer. So it's a pretty simple and straightforward system when you really kind of understand how it works and everything, but at the same time, there's a lot of new news with this whole $70 expansion thing that I kind of want to cover and talk about here today. So if you haven't heard the news yet, in year 2 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, there is supposed to be a $70 expansion that is basically spearheaded by Sledgehammer, and this is supposed to bring a massive amount of new content to the game and basically just open the game up for year 2, right? Since Call of Duty won't be releasing on a yearly basis, Activision has to find a new and creative way for themselves to basically make the same amount of money, if not more money, right? They have to please investors, they have to please their shareholders, they have to make money in some way, right? And the way that they're doing this is with this new plan. So in year 2 of Modern Warfare 2, Sledgehammer is supposed to be bringing a massive update to Modern Warfare 2 that overhauls the game, brings in a load of new content for everybody to enjoy, and overall gives the game a massive refresh, right? And of course, this is priced at $70 to kind of keep in tune with the fact that the game costs $70. They don't want to lose out on that yearly revenue of $70 from their players, which makes sense, right? Like Activision, of course, they're not going to leave money on the table. If there's one company in the gaming industry besides EA who's not going to leave money on the table, that company is Activision, and this is basically their way of, I think, polishing up the games more while at the same time being able to basically make the same amount of money. And I don't totally hate the idea. I think if it's implemented the right way, it could be really good. So there was some speculation on Twitter about another Call of Duty title next year. However, those have now been refuted with the explanation that it is a premium paid DLC. And since the DLC is assumed to be a total price of $70, various users wrongly concluded that it will be another offshoot of the series. However, the next Call of Duty will not be released until 2024 and is currently at development in Treyarch, while the content DLC is being developed at Sledgehammer. There is currently no correct information about the content of this update. However, the chances of further campaign content for single players, further Spec Ops missions, and further multiplayer content can also be expected. We would like to also see a continuation of the Grandiose campaign and many more co-op missions and activities. Alright, so let's talk about this idea, man. So we're talking about the concept of a big $70 expansion basically for Modern Warfare 2. What is that going to entail? What could we get from that? How is that going to look? I mean, we've never really seen this in Call of Duty, right? I mean, like a game that I can think of like an expansion pack for, you think of like World of Warcraft. And I'm wondering if with the merger of Activision and Blizzard, if that concept kind of was birthed from World of Warcraft in a way, like if the company kind of like was like, hey, we worked this out with this, let's try it for this. Right? I don't know if that's really what they went for, but if that is the case, then it is pretty clever, right? But at the end of the day, right, we've never seen this in COD, and is it going to be popular? Well, I think that really depends on just how much content we get in this pack. Now, this is going to have to be, at least for me, a very content-rich DLC for me to expect to spend $70 on it, right? I mean, $70 is the price of a full brand new AAA video game, so if you want me to spend $70 on an expansion, you're going to have to drop drop some content. So what can we expect? I mean, right off the top of the head, what comes to mind, we've heard rumors of a campaign DLC. I'm wondering if that's going to be incorporated into this $70 price point, if they're going to release like some extra campaign missions or expand the storyline of Modern Warfare 2. No spoilers or anything, but if you saw the end of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, you know it ended on a massive cliffhanger, and the opportunity to expand the story is definitely there. They have the opportunity for sure to add DLC to the campaign and kind of just expand this story even more. And even with that, I don't think that's enough, right? They got to do something else, right? So what immediately for me comes to mind is Spec Ops. There's only a couple Spec Ops missions in the game currently. I'm sure they'll be adding more over time. But as of right now, man, I think they could definitely get away with bundling in some Spec Ops missions. They could, throw in 3 or 5 Spec Ops missions, maybe even more if they wanted to be generous and actually give players some content worth playing, but, throw in some Spec Ops missions. And of course, I feel like there's going to have to be some multiplayer content thrown in there too. That's the bread and butter of Call of Duty, that multiplayer. People, they're not buying campaign, right? They're not playing Call of Duty for campaign. The majority of the player base is playing this game because they want to play multiplayer. So with that, right, you basically have to give people something that's of value. And yeah, campaign, they can throw $20 worth of campaign content in there. If they're going to do Spec Ops, man, I really wish they'd bring back survival or zombies. It'd be pretty cool if like they do zombies for free and then maybe throw in survival as part of the expansion update or something like that, just to give the best of both worlds. I like survival a lot personally. But of course, like I said, there's going to have to be multiplayer content. They're going to have to do something with that. They're going to have to throw pretty much some cards out of the deck in there. What I would love to see, man, like if they're going to do a $70 DLC, man, throw in all of the multiplayer maps from Modern Warfare 2 and throw in all the multiplayer maps from Modern Warfare 3. And this is actually good for the game for so many different reasons. Number one, Activision Blizzard, they get that revenue off of the expansion like they want. Number two, the fans, we get great maps. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 had so many iconic, classic Call of Duty maps in it. I think we can already expect, just as rumors have basically confirmed at this point, we're going to be getting some of these maps for free. They've already found out that Afghan is in the game. Word around town is with Season 1, we're going to be getting Shoot House from Modern Warfare 2019, and we're also going to be getting Shipment from COD 4 and all the other Call of Duty games it's been in. So it's going to get to that point where, they're going to be dropping some free maps. Like, for instance, I expect like Terminal, High Rise, maybe Rust, maybe Favela, maps like this to be thrown in for free as part of these seasonal updates that they're doing for the game. But getting the rest of the maps from these games as part of this DLC, for me personally, would absolutely 100 million% make that $70 price tag worth it, especially with the campaign and Spec Ops DLC that it could bring. That's kind of like my personal wish list, at least for the $70 DLC. I'm really curious to see what you guys think about it, right? Because this is massive. This is something that hasn't happened in the Call of Duty franchise before. And if this is done the right way, this is probably going to be the baseline for what they do for all future Call of Duty titles. So are you excited to see the $70 expansion essentially coming to Modern Warfare? Do you think it's a good idea? Is it going to be content that you're excited for and ready to play? Would you even justify spending $70 on year 2 of Call of Duty? Or are you content with what we have in year 1 of Modern Warfare already and all the free content that it's going to be getting? Of course, let me know down in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubTheOptimist. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video here on the channel, guys, this is Optimus, talking about Modern Warfare 2's $70 expansion, and signing out.